no idea what I want to do.
Hey guys, it's Keegan. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are going to be touring some apartments. I'm going to be touring apartments in the Phoenix, Biltmore, Arcadia area in Arizona. I actually already toured some apartments, so I'll link that video down below. I wanted to tour a couple in that area, so I've toured apartments in Old Town Scottsdale, which is where I currently live, but I'm also interested in living in that Phoenix area, so I wanted to see all my options. I currently live in Old Town Scottsdale and I really like it, but I got my apartment at like the peak of renting prices and they've gone down a little bit since, so I'm interested in seeing if I can find an apartment that's a little bit more affordable and cheaper monthly rent. However, even if apartment is like a little bit cheaper with the cost of moving, like application fees, deposit, hiring movers and all that stuff, it may end up being the exact same price, if not more than what I'm currently paying. So I just wanted to see all my options, tour a bunch of places, and see financially what makes the most sense. So I have a couple of apartments that I'm going to be touring today. I'm very excited to take you guys along with me, so let's go. And we're off to our very first apartment. Let's go. I think I just said let's go in the last clip. Let's go again. I loved this one. I thought this one was so beautiful. So the apartment that I toured was their model, so it wasn't the same floor plan as the one that they quoted me for, but what they quoted me was by far cheaper than the places that I toured in Old Town. However, there are a lot of extra fees on top of this, so let me just do the quick little math of this. Okay, so this is honestly like the same price as the other one that I'm considering. I really like this one. So one thing though that I am not obsessed with, the one that they have available isn't like 10 out of 10 incredible. There was like a variation of that floor plan. The one that they have available doesn't have an island, but then there's another floor plan that's the same thing that has an island, and she was saying like every 2 weeks they start putting up more apartments, like they only hold an apartment for 2 weeks. So she's like, if you check back in 1 week there could be more stuff, but they have like an incentive that if you apply within 48 hours you get the admin and the administrative fee waived, and then you also don't have to pay the deposit. There's like none of those move-in fees. I really like this one. I love the location of this location. It's obviously different than where I currently live. I live in Old Town, this is in Phoenix, but this is a great location. There's so much, so close. The amenities of this were incredible. I really liked this one. I loved like the facade of it, and again, the floor plan that I toured is different than the floor plan that I'd get. I really like this one, like a lot. This definitely is changing some things for me. It's making me be like, okay, maybe I should live here instead. I just wish that it had an island like the one floor plan that they have available, but it's so much cheaper. But part of me is like, okay, I could wait to see if they have more stuff available, but then I wouldn't get like the waived application, admin, and deposit. But wow, I really like this one. Oh my god, someone is walking their dog right past me and I'm vlogging, and they like, we just kind of made really awkward eye contact. Me in the leasing office, I like walked in and she just stopped me and she goes, are those your real eyelashes? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, like you have to try this eyelash serum. And so she literally bought the eyelash serum when I was with her on Amazon, because I was hyping it up so much. Called Babe Lash, in case you're interested. I'm like, do my eyelashes look that? My eyelashes do look pretty good today. But like that was like majority of what we were talking about, like not even necessarily the apartment, but like I said, I will keep like saying this, the location is different from where I currently live, but I think I might like this more. There's a lot more stuff over here than where I live, and it's cheaper. I actually realized, oh no, I'm gonna be late for my next tour. I need to map it and stop talking. But I realized that if you guys remember, I have a kitchen table in my dining room, my current apartment. The lady that I bought it from on Facebook Marketplace lived here, and I was like, oh my god, this is the same place. I pulled up and I was like, oh wow, I remember when I got the table out of her apartment, I was like, wow, her apartment is beautiful. Part of me wants to wait until they have more options available. I'll basically lose $800. Number 4, if you guys remember from my last tour, I was like kind of set on that, and I was like, I think I'm gonna live there, but I just want to see this as an option. But wow, this might be a better option. Now I have so much to think about. I have all these other tours that I need to go to. I'm about to be late for this one. Okay, it's 2 minutes away. I should be fine. I need to give you guys my thoughts on apartment number 2 as I'm driving, because I am so late for this next place. That was the most uncomfortable experience of my entire life. That tour, I don't want to live here simply because that tour made me so uncomfortable. The leasing office was a guy, and 2 things. He was very clearly stoned. He like reeked of weed, and you could just like see his eyes were bloodshot, and like the way that he was talking, like you could just tell he was so beyond high. He was also hitting on me very uncomfortably. Oh my god, it made me so, and I'm not one to be like, he was hitting on me. No, this man was, oh my god, I am like crawling out of my skin. It made me so uncomfortable. That apartment only had units available for me on the first floor, and just being like a girl living alone, I really don't want to live on the first floor. Like, I don't want people to be able to like walk in from like my patio or anything, like just to walk into my apartment. That makes me feel really uncomfortable, so I feel like I'd have to rule this one out. The apartments over here are a lot cheaper than the apartments in Old Town where I toured in my last video. Like, they're like $300 cheaper. The guy did say, he made a comment about how like it's dangerous over here, and I was like, what? Like, it is? Oh. And then he was like, but like, it not that dangerous. And I was like, what? Okay, not you backpedaling. I liked the apartment. There was like nice amenities. He did make a comment. The apartment that I toured before, he was like, what other apartments are you touring? The apartment before also asked me that. It's kind of like when you're dating a person, or like you're going on a date with someone and they're like, are you seeing other people? Like, that's what it felt like. And I was like, I'm like, I should say. But he told me that a lot of people that live at the apartment that I toured first moved to apartment number 2 because they didn't like apartment number 1. So I don't know if he was just saying that to say it, or if like that's actually true. I can't tell. I don't know. There were other units that I could have toured. He was like, oh, when are you touring other apartments? And I was like, oh, I have a tour in like 2 minutes. And he's like, okay, you can always come back. I don't know if I'll come back, because the fact that he was hitting on me and very he made me so uncomfortable. I'm like crawling out of my skin uncomfortable. Sorry, I don't want my camera to fall while I turn. And I don't want to judge the apartment based off the leasing office. I did like the apartment. It was a little darker than what I typically like, and they didn't have a ton of units available, so I feel like about it. And also, I really don't want to live on the first floor, but the location was very nice. It was affordable. Don't want to get behind this car. Can I get around him? Oh no, I think I just screwed myself over. Oh gosh, I need to turn soon. Can you please let me get over? Oh my god, I don't know if I should do this. Okay, I just did something that could have caused me to get in a car accident, but I didn't get in a car accident. That was kind of a dick move of what I just did. I like apartment number 1 a lot more than I like apartment number 2. Apartment number 1 is cheaper. With the additional fees, they're oh my god, I just choked on my own spit. With the additional fees, they're about the same price. Apartment number 2 doesn't have any additional fees. Now we're driving in to apartment number 3. That was also another really awkward tour. I don't know, like, what is with these leasing agents that are men that are like really awkward? So I did like this one. The issue with this one, there's always an issue with them. For most apartments have stuff that's available now but not in the future, because my apartment makes you give a 60-day notice, and some apartments make you give a 30-day notice, so they don't know what's available then. This apartment, for whatever reason, doesn't have anything available until like late July. My lease ends July 11th. So they only had one bedroom apartment that was available for me before July 11th, because I don't want to like move out and like not know where to live and have to like hire movers to move my stuff into a storage unit, then hire them again to move them into an apartment. It would just end up costing me way too much money, and the whole point of me wanting to move is to save money. If it costs me more money or even the same amount of money to move what I'm currently paying, then I'm just gonna stay in my apartment. So they did have one that was available for me, and it was a much bigger apartment than all the other apartments that I've toured, and they're around the same price. The one thing about this is kind of like a townhome, so it's like a parking garage and then the unit is above it, but it's not attached to the complex, so it's the same concept of someone can just walk up the stairs and walk up to your front door, which is something I really don't want. I post my life on the internet. I live alone. Safety is really important to me, so I want to live in an apartment where you have to like get into the building and then you can get into the hallway with your door. I don't want someone to just be able to like walk up to my apartment and get in. You know, the same price as some of the other ones, and it's a lot bigger, which is nice, and it comes with its own like private parking garage. But the idea of someone just being able to like walk up to my apartment does make me a little nervous. I guess it is in a gate, like it's like a gated community that you have to like enter through the gate to get in there, so maybe I'd be all right with that. I did like this place. I don't know, I feel like when the leasing agents are just awkward, I can't even like properly focus on the apartment because I'm just so focused on the awkward tension. I don't know. I have a break right now in between my next tour, so I might get lunch so I can see like what's over here. Yeah, I have an hour in between. I'm gonna get lunch and then I'll do a reflection on the 3 that I toured earlier today and then the 6 that I toured last time. So if you guys haven't seen my like part 1 of me touring these, go check that out. But I'm gonna get food. There's a lot more food options over here than where I live. I'm gonna get kava. I'm very excited for that. There's not one of those where I live, and I freaking love kava. Lunchtime! Also, apparently for this apartment, I didn't schedule the tour for today. I scheduled it for tomorrow, so he was like, you are not in here. And I was like, what? I was like, I can leave. I literally was like, I can come back tomorrow. And he's like, no, don't do that. And I was like, okay. I got kava, and the guy that was like ringing me up at the end, I was like, oh, thanks so much. And he goes, yeah, appreciate you. And I don't know why, just the appreciate you made me stop in my tracks. It made me feel good. So we're gonna eat in my car as I contemplate my entire life. Sounds about right. This is good. I don't know what I want to do. I feel so conflicted. I wish I had more time. I hate that it's a 60-day notice. I'm like, that is way too far in advance. If you guys remember the last video that I did, number 4 was my favorite. The other ones, they all were pretty much the same price as my apartment. I might have saved maybe $100 a month, but after all the moving costs of like hiring movers, the deposit, the whatever, everything, it would have either equaled my apartment or been more money in the end. So my really only option was number 4. I didn't love the location of it. I liked the amenities. I liked the look of the apartment. It was a nice place. It would save me a lot of money, but there was just something about that place that I wasn't excited about it. And so I felt like that was like a sign. So I was like, okay, maybe I should look here. And I think that I need to drive around this area more, because I don't know if it's just in my head that there's more around here or if there actually is more around here, because I think that there's more around here. Where I currently live, there's like a cute little like town center, lots of like little shops, little restaurants, not so much chains. And I feel like I don't utilize that as much as I should, because no one that I know really lives over there. Like most of my friends live around here. I feel like there's just a lot more shopping over here. There's a lot more restaurants. There's a lot more things, and it's cheaper. But I feel like I don't know this area well enough to like really be confident in me saying that. So I feel like after I eat this, I might just do a little drive around and see what's over here. I just feel like I don't know what I want to do, and I wish I had more time to figure it out. So far, the one that I like the most is the first one we saw today. But they sent me the rent quote, and it was for 14 months, and I don't want to sign a 14-month lease. I'm sure it'll be more expensive being a 12-month lease, so I need to email them back. I basically have 2 days to decide if I want to live there or not, because if I decide within 2 days, I can get like $800 off. It's just so frustrating. I hate this so much. I want more time. I get why they put the pressure on you to like decide soon, but I hate that they do it. I hate it so much. I need to decide what to do. I feel stressed. I don't even know what number we're on anymore, but that one was a no for me. The main reason that it's a no is because this is like one of those outdoor apartment complexes where you enter through outside, which again, I keep saying, I don't want that. Also, I was a little annoyed because they made me sit there for 30 minutes before they like started touring. Like they were just like, okay, sit here. And then I waited 30 minutes in silence with a girl in the room. It was kind of awkward. They also showed me a townhouse, which I don't want a townhouse. I wanted like a regular apartment. And she said the regular apartments are nicer than the townhouses anyways. Like they feel bigger. This one is cheaper than all the other ones, but again, it's the outdoor thing, so that's just not something that I want. Overall, this one wasn't my favorite. So we have one more. We'll see. I still feel so overwhelmed by this decision. There's just so many options. Does anybody know that girl on TikTok who like imitates leasing office managers? I think her name is Madison. She's like, correct, correct. That was exactly like this leasing office lady. Like she said correct so many times. So many of the things that like the girl Madison does on TikTok, like imitating these leasing office managers, was so spot on. I feel bad. I feel like I'm just like judging these people. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I did think that was funny that it was so accurate. I have no idea what I want to do. I didn't love this one as much as I was hoping to. The one that I toured was a lot bigger than the one that they had available for me. The one they had available for me was like 100 square feet smaller, pretty tiny. I have no idea what I want to do. I feel so overwhelmed. I still think the fourth one from the previous video and the first one from today are like my top contenders. I just don't know what I want to do. I just hate making decisions like this. I feel so overwhelmed by this. I'm just gonna go home. I really need to think about this, but I don't have much time to think about this. I have to make a decision soon. Being an adult sucks. Having to make big decisions like this is not fun. I don't like it. I'm eating my kava, the leftover that I have. I forgot to mention, this leasing office girl was new to this building, and she was low-key like talking shit about it. She was like, I think it's weird that we do this. I don't really like that we do this. This is very inefficient the way we do this. Yeah, my other place was much better than this. Like, she was not hyping it up. She made it sound like it wasn't that great. That says a lot about this place. I'm gonna make a pro-con list, and I'm gonna make an Excel spreadsheet. It's what I do best. Hello, it is the next day. I have done a lot of thinking. I've made several pro-con lists. I've done so much math. I've made so many spreadsheets. I have really burnt myself out by how much I've been thinking about this. So I wanted to give you guys a little insight into everything, all the things I'm thinking about, all my options, kind of what I think I'm gonna do. Nothing is set in stone yet. So if you guys have any opinions on this and you're like, Keegan, you were making a dumb decision, please let me know, because I genuinely do care and I value your guys' opinions a lot. So I am giving myself 3 options. These are the 3 options that are the most appealing to me and the 3 that I really only would want to choose from. Option number 1 is staying in this apartment, the one that I currently live in, which I love so much. Option number 2 is moving into apartment number 4 from my last touring video. We are going to call that the Scottsdale apartment just to make it easier. And then my 3rd option is moving into the first apartment that I showed in this video. We are going to call that the Phoenix apartment. So we have staying here, we have my current apartment, the Scottsdale apartment, and the Phoenix apartment. I also want to say, I know that in my other video, everybody loved number 3. Everybody was like, Keegan, you should move into number 3. I did the math on it and I would end up spending a couple $1,000s more than if I were to just stay in this apartment. It makes me so sad because I loved that apartment. I thought it was beautiful, but I can't choose an apartment solely based off aesthetics. And the entire reason I'm considering moving is to save money. If I'm not saving money, I'm not moving. So unfortunately, we have to cross that one off the list, but she was stunning. She was beautiful. So I thought I would go over the math and the numbers of how much I would be saving in the Scottsdale versus the Phoenix apartment. So if I were to stay in this apartment that I currently live in, I would be saving $0. Yeah, if I were to move into the Scottsdale apartment, I feel like you guys are gonna gasp when I say the amount of money that I'm about to save if I move into this apartment, so please sit down. I will be saving, that's my drum roll, $7,342.78. That is a shit ton of money. If I were to move into the Phoenix apartment, I would be saving $4,496.28. That is also a shit ton of money. However, that is almost a $3,000 difference. You guys are probably like, why is the Scottsdale apartment so much cheaper? It's slightly cheaper monthly and there's less add-on fees, and they also have a deal going on right now where you can get 2 months of rent for free. So that is why I'd be saving so much money, is because of those deals, and like there's not as many add-ons. I still would be saving money with the Phoenix apartment, but the Scottsdale apartment, I would be saving a significant amount more of money. Both apartments are already cheaper than what I'm currently paying for my apartment right now. The reason for that is because they're both smaller apartments. Also, when I moved into this apartment, it was like the peak of rent prices, so rent prices have gone down. So yeah, I'd be saving either $7,000 or $4,000, which I feel like both of those amounts are a significant amount of money and too much money to pass up on and stay living here. So I do think I'm gonna move. Also, I want to say, last time I kind of talked about how much I'd be saving, and a lot of people were like, oh, Keegan, you forgot to add taxes, you forgot to add this fee, you forgot to add this fee. No, that sounded bad. No, I accounted for every single cost: the base rent, the guest services, trash valet, utilities, amenities, parking, tax, application fee, admin fee, security deposit, the cost of moving. I even included like the cost of like buying boxes to move, and even other little expenses that I didn't talk about. Like I included a lot of the expenses, even the expense to set up an internet router. I included almost everything. That's not just comparing the base rent, that's including everything. So I did make a lot of pros and cons lists for all the apartments, staying Phoenix apartment, Scottsdale apartment, but I thought what would make the most sense is to have categories and say which one I like better. We are ranking these apartments, Scottsdale versus Phoenix. Which one will win? For the aesthetics, which apartment do I think is prettier? Like which one do I like the flooring, the cabinets, all of that stuff better? I like the Phoenix apartment better. Which one do I like the location better? I like the Phoenix location better. This is kind of, the Scottsdale apartment is close to where I already live. It's in the same area, so I know that area well. I've never lived in the Phoenix area, so in my mind, like I said earlier in this video, I think there's more stuff to do over there, but I've also never lived over there, so I like don't know that for fact. But I'm considering Phoenix having a better location. Which apartment do I like the amenities better? I like the Phoenix apartment's amenities better. Which one has better parking? The Phoenix apartment has better parking. The Phoenix apartment, you do have to pay for parking. It's $75 a month, whereas the Scottsdale apartment, it's free. Scottsdale apartment is like outside uncovered. The Phoenix apartment is in a parking garage. Price, Scottsdale, much better price. The floor plan, Scottsdale. I really like the floor plan of the Scottsdale one a lot more than I like the floor plan of the Phoenix one that I'd be getting. The floor plan of the Phoenix one is really weird. I'll put a picture of it. The wall that I would put my TV on is like not even facing the couch. It was kind of a weird floor plan, and they didn't really have any better options. I feel like that was a really big deciding factor for me, is that I just thought the floor plan of the Phoenix one was a little odd. Size-wise, Scottsdale apartment is bigger. I think it's like almost 100 square feet bigger. It's quite a bit bigger. The view, not the biggest deal to me, but the view for the Scottsdale apartment is much better. The one for the Phoenix would be facing a parking lot. Because I work out of my home, I also wanted to add a a few kind of work stuff. So I film my videos in my home, so the lighting in the Scottsdale apartment would be much better. The available units they have for the Phoenix apartment have horrible lighting. They're not facing a really bright area, so it would be pretty dark and dingy, which would be pretty bad for my videos. And then storage slash space, like I said, I do have a small business where I sell to-do lists outside of my apartment, and the Scottsdale apartment is bigger and it has a lot more storage. Like the kitchen has a lot more cabinets, closet's a lot bigger, there's a lot more storage, and there's more space where I can do my to-do list stuff. The Phoenix apartment is smaller. There's not a lot of kitchen storage, there's not a lot of closet storage, and there wouldn't be as much room to have my small business out of my home. So with that being said, I do think that I'm gonna go with the Scottsdale apartment. Obviously it's not 100% perfect. I don't live in a perfect world where I can get every single thing that I want. I would love for it to be the perfect price, the perfect location, perfect amenities, the perfect aesthetics. Being an adult is having to compromise on some things, and I think for me the thing that matters the most is price and being able to run my business out of my home, and the Scottsdale apartment is the one that can do that for me. So nothing is set in stone. I'm not 100%, but I think I'm pretty close to 100%. If you guys are like, Keegan, that is stupid, you're making the dumbest decision of your entire life, let me know. But if you're like, Keegan, that's a great decision, thank you. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. I really do value your opinions. And yeah, so there might be some moving vlogs in the future. I feel like that's gonna be exciting. So yeah, I'm still stressed about it all. Moving is very stressful, but I love you guys so much. I'm so glad I get to share all this with you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.